You'd have to be a cold-hearted bastard not to get emotional over episode 4 of Mayonaka Punch. And it's really sad because this is legitimately anime of the season contender. And like with a few shows this year, is completely being swept under the rug, under the radar for most. And while many people probably assume that they're getting into a funny vampire comedy anime, like with many vampires who can outlive people, this show can break your heart. I should have realized it was more in the past, but the way they were talking, maybe I'm the only one. I thought it was like a couple years back. Like initially I thought it was a decent while back, but I could have swore they were mentioning it was just a couple years back, and I was like, oh, okay, she's gonna go reunite with her friend. And then her friend's dead. And I'm like, this show was already good, man. I didn't talk about episode 3 last week, watched it this morning, I was like, oh, that's a really good episode. The show's getting better and better. But it's like, you already have this gem that you're like, this is so good. This is what anime needs to be. And then it just skyrockets. It just breaks your heart in the most beautiful way. It was already devastating when you realize that, a friendship essentially got ruined because she had to run away from the sun, but it obviously looks like leaving your friend behind to deal with the nerves that she's also dealing with all by herself. And then they just sideswipe you with Truck-kun just to make it even more of a impactful biatch. This show's fantastic, and it depresses me that it's so underappreciated. Now, of course, I do a full live reactions over on Patreon. If you want to see my full and good thought to any of these episodes, it's going to be over there exclusively. Honestly, I don't know how many more videos you'll get on this show, just because literally no one cares about this show. Barely any people leave comments. It's not a good show to cover on my channel. But episode 4 is so good, I need to talk about at least this episode. Fu as a character just sideswiped me, because, like, I wasn't expecting it at all. The way they go about, the intro of episode 4, like, it's like, okay, flashback, or maybe it's present day and just, she actually has a friend and, we just haven't met her up until this point. And the idea of, like, tackling music together and, someone plays guitar and then she sings, it's just like, okay, like, they had the little Carol and Tuesday situation going on. It's cute, it's adorable. And you knew it wasn't gonna last in the way of, like, they were gonna become professional, but I wasn't expecting it to get, like, super emotional, Because at the end of the day, if she can go out and have a job tending to a bathhouse at night, I mean, what's to say she can't play little concerts at night in nightclubs and stuff, right? But reality continues to set in, and the idea that basically, what's going to happen if you did get big? You're only going to play at night, there's going to be all these questions, and it's like, you could probably make all that work, but the biggest one would be that her lack of aging, like, that would be eventually exposed, and you can only take that going for maybe 10 years before people really start questioning her skincare routine. But I just wasn't expecting it. I wasn't expecting how good the impact would be, because up to this point, while there definitely has been a little ounce of drama, little dramatic moments here and there, it's never been to the point of, like, tearjerker worthy of, like, damn, it's a terrible day for Rain. But that moment when you realize that, okay, they're both at the stage, right? And they're both incredibly nervous. She's trying to encourage her, she's grabbing her, but she's visibly shaken. I'm thinking to myself, damn, it's a good day, it's a cloudy day, because in theory she'll be able to perform. And then the sun starts coming out. And the animation and the sound effects that they did for that sizzling, crackling, just from that little bit touching her hand and how she pulls away, that has to be one of the most heartbreaking looks I've seen all year in anime. Because that look of not knowing why she's pulling away. Because clearly they're both visibly concerned and worried, are they going to be good enough? But it's the way she just rips away and then never talks to her again. Like, the fact that you could have such a connection with someone and feel like you know them so well, but then as she says in the video later in the episode about how she clearly didn't know a lot, but it's just she wished she knew why she did that, right? It's not about I hated her for it, just she wished she knew more. And that is just, that hurts. And it's really compelling emotion, because you just immediately feel what they're feeling on both sides, because if you're put in that situation, you immediately would probably feel almost identical to what they are. And the idea that it's actually a little hostile, it's a little blunt, but I think it's exactly what Fu needs in terms of our MC pretty much, giving her the location of, like, places that she's played at. And I thought we were just going to go typical, right? Because it really wasn't clear how long ago it was. Like I feel like watching the episode at first, I was like, man, they're making it seem like it wasn't that long ago. But even if it's in the 80s and we're in the 2020s now, right? It's still, she looked young. I would have figured she's, even if like we discovered her at 60 years of age or whatever, I figured she would still be, alive. The thought of her dead never crossed my mind because it didn't look like something from the 1940s and stuff, right? Like that never crossed my mind. I was expecting, oh, we would see her at the bar. It would be that typical reunion scene. Maybe she is a lot older, just stuff like that. And just the reveal that she dead. I'm like, I had to do a double take on that one. I was like, when she revealed that she was dead, I was like, excuse me? Like, that was one of the most sideswiping moments. And the fact that there was a video and just, she obviously overcame a lot of the insecurities, but like, that has to, I can't even begin to imagine having that much guilt for all those years. And when you're finally ready to face it and overcome it, she's dead. Like, if this isn't a wake-up call to just remind you that don't take time for granted, don't let arguments, bickering, or bad moments define years of your life. Like, quickly tackle that shit because you never know how quick life's gonna go by. And this was a brilliant episode. Like, episode 3 was great too. It was probably the most fun episode. But episode 4 specifically, man, like that is, I think I said it in my first impressions, my first episode. No, or if not, I said it when I covered episode 2. This is an anime of the season contender, and it's an absolute shame that barely any people watch or talk about it, because there is some great anime originals coming out this year that are just being swept under the radar. And a part of it is due to there's just so much anime being released anymore that anime fandoms are just so much more scattered these days. But please, like, for the love of God, if you are enjoying this show, just tell a friend, tell a single friend. If everyone just told one friend and got one friend to watch a show like this, we would have more PA works out in the world doing creative things like this, rather than just always going with the safe bets of the season. This is a fantastic show. Like I said, no idea if we'll cover more on the channel. It doesn't feel like the demand's there, and honestly, even when the videos are okay viewed, like hardly anyone even discusses it, right? It's just, it is what it is. But I am loving this one. Best episode out of the 4. This is the current bar to reach going forward. My heart shattered. I wasn't prepared. What the hell is my comedy anime doing to me? Thoughts down below. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new around here. Of course, ring that bell. And like I mentioned, we got those full live reactions over on Patreon. And hey, while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shout out. Alrighty, so today we got Dylan Miles, Stephen Thomas, Danny0119, Coconut Gang, and we also have Marion James E. Posada. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care, and y'all have a good one.